The water calls, and it's race time again. Heat 2B of Unlimited Boat Racing for the Albert Lee Appliance Cup. Here are your boats. In Heat 2B, it is the favorite this weekend, the Oh Boy Alberto, the Fox Plumbing Red Dot, Boitano Homes Performance Tools Boat, Miss Beacon Plumbing, and Casino, Snoqualmie Casino. Your boats, Unlimited Racing. Heat 2B for the Albert Lee Appliance Cup.
Heat 2B of the Albert Lee Appliance Cup is brought to you by Samsung, innovative appliances that will become the focal point of your home, and is presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking, specializing in heavy intermodal container drayage throughout Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana.
The starter clock is brought to you by J.P. Morgan Chase, a proud sponsor of Seafair. Chase, making it easy for your personal and business banking needs to start and run strong. 3.5 minutes before these boats really start flying around the course. Temperature is going up now, but the wind speed isn't, and the waters are still calm. Again, beautiful race day for spectators and for the racers themselves. Here they are. Steve David, who won Heat 1, piloting the Oh Boy Alberto, of course. He is the big veteran and big winning veteran on the course today. John Zimmerman as well, along with Mike Webster, a winner in 1B. And Chris Francis, you've been with the Zimmerman team and Fox Plumbing.
That's right, Steve, and the Zimmerman team was fast yesterday. Had they not jumped the start, they would have won that heat. And he thinks they got something for Steve David. Of course, it all depends on where he starts and what line he runs. He's going to obviously want to be inside of the Oh Boy Alberto.
He will certainly try to do that. Here are the other two drivers in this Heat 2B. That is J. Michael Kelly with the Miss Beacon Plumbing boat and Jamie Nielsen, the Snoqualmie Casino boat. Lee, what's going on there with J. Michael and company?
Well, actually, we've been keeping an eye on this boat all morning because just 40 minutes ago, we saw them put a brand new engine in the boat, and now the crew is taking a look at the boat they have worked so tirelessly on since flipping last Friday. Just a dramatic blow to the boat. So a brand new engine. Talked to Bill Walk. He says that there was some rubbing in the engine, not what you want, metal on metal. So we'll see if this is the last major change they'll have to make today.
Yeah, that was, by the way, the drivers in Heat 2B for the Albert Lee Appliance Cup, and that's Dave Bill Walk she's talking about, and he is helping out there with J. Michael and the team, Chris, or Chip.
Yeah, you know, Dave Villwalk is more than just a driver. He may be the most complete boat racer ever. He can build a boat, he can build an engine, he can build a propeller, and then he can get in and drive it. He's been working with the Beacon Plumbing to try to bring their program up a little bit. Here we see the Fox Plumbing boat. Now, he's dead in the water, but he did this yesterday, too, literally getting into the corner and just shutting it off and trying to get that inside line.
CairoTV.com. We are all around the world. Here again, the voice of Unlimited Hydroplane Racing, Mr. Mike Fitzsimmons.
They're playing some head games out there with respect to going real slow, and it's pretty difficult to tell exactly who's going to wind up where at this point. Remember, they're in the lower corner now. They're a few 100 yards away from the yellow buoy exit pin down there, and as we mentioned, John Zimmerman virtually shut the boat out. He has it underway again. Did it yesterday the same sort of way. He's going to troll right up to that buoy, and he's got about 6 seconds before he can cross that buoy. Let's see if he does it okay. 2, 1. Yes, he'll be fine. He gets around there all right, but that doesn't mean he owns lane 1 yet. Take a look at what has happened here. You see that both Steve David and also we see that Mike Webber has attempted to try to get alongside of him. But the question is, will there be enough space to be able to come all the way up to the upper corner there and maintain a 7-boat lead in order to come across? And the answer is no. So it looks as though John Zimmerman's strategy has worked out here as far as lane number 1 is concerned. And then the question is, where's Steve David, Chip? And Steve looks like he'll be in about the 2 or 3 lane.
If I'm Steve David, I'm going to stay outside, try to stay out of trouble, not get mixed up with anybody, and not push the start line too close. He's got 400 points from yesterday's heat. He just needs to relax, let the boat do the work.
We have a 1-lap penalty on the 37 boat. That is J. Michael for cutting inside the course. So you already made one of those mistakes you were talking about. Just take yourself out of the race. Here they come to the line, and from the 4 lane, it looks like the 48 boat, Jamie Nielsen in the Snoqualmie Casino, is going to lead them down. But as they get down into that first corner, it's what's happening inside of him that makes the difference. And right now, it appears as though we've got a pretty good race going down through that corner. And bowing out first, it looks like it is the Oh Boy Alberto.
So you see the white boat, that's John Zimmerman. The boat just in front of him is J. Michael Kelly. So physically he's running third, but in points that puts John Zimmerman in second because J. Michael apparently went inside the race course and came back out.
And we have word that Zimmerman also drew a penalty for the 1 minute buoy. He went across it too quickly, and as a result, has taken himself out of this one as well. And this is exactly what Steve David needs, a cakewalk, essentially.
It is, and it's so frustrating. I want to go down there and grab these young drivers and say, don't try so hard in these preliminary heats. Just run the boat. Just don't take chances. Be conservative. But gosh, we've seen mistake after mistake, and they're just handing it all right back to Steve David.
They are trying so hard. They're trying too hard in some cases, and they just don't seem to have some patience, and that will cost you every single time in boat racing. Patience is a virtue generally, but it is a commodity that's very scarce sometimes among hydroplane drivers.
Race drivers in general, it's hard to not be on kill all the time.
Right.
It's like a thoroughbred just trying to take it out on a trail and say, don't run, just walk along.
You just saw in that aerial shot, and you see in the entrance to the north turn, Steve David has it all his way because he knows the guy behind him already drew a penalty, so it doesn't matter that he's in physically second condition. And he also knows that the third guy there, the white and yellow boat, is also in trouble, the Fox Fleming Red Dot Les Schwab boat. And so as a result, Steve David virtually just has to stay clean, drive as fast as it takes to win. 2 laps are down, and we have the second place boat now. Legal second place boat is the 48, which is Jamie Nilsson, and this is a kid I think has got some talent and is coming up, Chip.
Well, there's a guy that's going to find himself in the final heat. He's got less equipment than the guys. All 3 guys, or the 2 guys in front of him, he doesn't have nearly the boat that they've got, but he's got a lot more points because he doesn't make mistakes.
But surprisingly, we're seeing also that Mike Weber, who was the winner yesterday because he put himself in a position to be able to take advantage of mistakes, has not been able to get any kind of boat speed at all and is running last physically but third overall. Right. So he'll get some points. Exactly. He knows that. He'll just drive as fast as necessary. Okay, checkered flag comes out for Steve David. Not much of a contest this time. Oh boy, Alberto, 2 for 2, and the winner of Heat 2B. Now the white goes up or green rather goes up for the Beacon Plumbing. They've got another lap they have to go. Same for John Zimmerman and the Fox Plumbing Red Dot Les Schwab boat. So now we'll see the checker come out once again, and it does. It does for Mike Weber as he comes across the line and picks up some additional points. There you see Art Oberto.
And he might be the most enjoyable guy within the sound of our voice. He, of course, is the patriarch of the Oberto Company. He's been involved so long, and we were lucky enough here just a few minutes ago that he came by and gave us one of his famous 4-color. This is a 4-color pen. I know it is.
You got one of your own, didn't you?
It's not a 1-color, 2-color, or 3. It's a 4-color pen.
And let me tell you, those things are so handy when you're doing football spotting boards like I do for the Seahawks. Yeah. I have different facts in every color. Those are the best pens ever. Well,
Thanks, Art lost his wife Dorothy this year, and he's been up and down the beach, still making friends. 85 years young.
He's got great pens, and he's also got a great race boat. You're looking at it right there.
Back in 1975, when the kids in the neighborhood talked him into just sponsoring a boat, that was all that was going to be. Just sponsor a boat, get in a Seafair. It'd be a lot of fun. A lot of kids will like to look at the red and green and white, and they became serious boat racers and became national champions. And the only thing that they don't have and wish they could was that gold cup.
And it's funny. Everybody focus on boats that are really doing well, they have great equipment, but they forget that boats like Oberto and the Elstrom, they started out as small, underfunded teams with bad equipment and rookie drivers, just like we're seeing here, and they've built themselves into these powerful teams.
They did. And that's what it takes. But it was over the great many years. He's been one of the longest standing sponsors. By the way, that is the Miss Madison boat. The boat is actually owned by 13,000 citizens of Madison, Indiana, and it is the oldest motorsports sponsorship relationship in the history of all motorsports, including the wheeled kind as well as the boats.
And the Madison town is on the Ohio River, long history of boat racing. If you've never seen the movie Madison, you got to see it because it tells the true story of the little tiny team in the little tiny town. When the Gold Cup finally came to Madison, they won it. It's a great story.
Yeah. And the late Jim McCormick, of course.
Yep. Here is the Oberto coming into the dock now, the number 1, significant of a whole lot as far as this team is concerned. this heat right now. Of course, the winner. Let's first, though, go to Chris Francis with Fox Plumbing Boat. Chris.
Well, Steve, John Zimmerman getting out of the boat now, and he has had trouble with starts. Obviously, yesterday he jumped the gun, and here he jumped the 1 minute buoy. So he penalties in both heat races. So he's really trying to figure out how to start this boat and get it off to a fast start. As he gets out of the boat, I'll tell you that the owner of this boat, Dave Brown of Fox Heating and Plumbing, is in the hospital. He went in the hospital 2 days ago with some gallbladder problems. So he is having the exploratory surgery, and he's watching on CairoTV.com. That's what I hear. So John's still getting unhooked here and trying to get out of the boat here, and we hope to talk to him soon as the Oh Boy Alberto pulls in next to him. He's actually out of the boat, so Lee Stoll's over there ready to talk to him, I imagine.
Hey, girl. Hi, Steve. I was just about to jump on the boat and grab you off here. You were looking pretty serious there. Didn't anyone tell you that you actually won this heat?
I never believe it till we get back and hear it from everybody.
Well, you followed the first rule of racing, a clean start.
Yeah, that was critical. They've got the Alberto set up so well for us, and we got to thank Point Inside, Bartell Drugs, and Lipton Tea, and obviously Alberto for giving me this phenomenal boat and this team to work with.
Yeah. Well, phenomenal boat. We've said it is fast, but we've been talking this morning with you about the fact that you used to be the underdog. Now you are the obvious front runner. Which position do you prefer?
Well, when you're the underdog, the view is always the same, you know. So I think I like this view a lot better.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Steve David, he's been around a long time. He's won a lot of races, including that one. Here are your results of Heat 2B here at Seafair. And Steve David in the Oh Boy Alberto again picks up the winner's points. The Snoqualmie Casino boat comes in second, and then all of the boats that the Boitano Homes boat, Performance Tools, and then two boats there that got penalized, Fox Plumbing and Miss Beacon Plumbing. The results, Heat 2B, brought to you by Jack in the Box.
Heat 2B of the Albert Lee Appliance Cup is brought to you by Samsung, innovative appliances that will become the focal point of your home. And is presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking, specializing in heavy intermodal container drayage throughout Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana.
2B is sponsored by our old friend Rob Graham from Graham Trucking. And Rob showed up even though his guy won the other heat. Rob, let's put you over here if we can. Okay. So Heat 2B is sponsored by Rob Graham, who's also sponsored the boat that won the other heat, but you get to present a trophy to one of your favorite guys, Steve David, the winner of Heat 2B. Rob?
Thanks. I want to say I've been hearing a lot about retirement, or at least alluding to retirement, and I don't see it. I think he's sandbagging. Just my personal opinion. He's taught me a lot about being up here. In fact, I'm supposed to picture you all naked right now, but I don't feel right about it. So anyway, congratulations on a great race, Steve.
Thank you.
Steve, I think what he's really saying is he would really like you to retire.
Yeah, I would. Thanks so much to Graham Trucking for the sponsor of this heat, and Samsung, obviously, for the appliances, and Albert Lee, and Alberto, Bartell's, Inside Point, and Lipton Tea for everything they do. And y'all can't hear this, but thank you all for being here. Thank you.
And there you have it, Steve. Back to you. Those are the winners of Heats 2A and 2B. We'll see you later today.